6.1 Time differences. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, right-click and open the link in a new tab. In the Google Documents, you'll see Time Differences PC 6.1. You need to identify time differences between Fiji and New Zealand. NZST is New Zealand Standard Time and NZDST is New Zealand Daylight Savings Time. You need to identify the time differences between the Cook Islands and New Zealand, Tonga and New Zealand, and New Caledonia and New Zealand. I strongly suggest that you begin by completing the table. Follow the bullet points that are listed below. First, complete column A, current time in the island selected, and column B, current time in New Zealand. Right-click and open the link. This website is listed in alphabetical order. I'm going to discuss the Solomon Islands, so Solomon Islands is Monday, 2:15 in the afternoon. I will enter that into column A because that's my selected island, and it's important that I write Monday, 2:15 p.m. If I look at the bottom of my computer screen, I will see that it is 4:16 p.m. in New Zealand time, and again it's Monday, so I would write Monday, 4:15 p.m. If there is a minute or two difference, don't worry about it. It's really important that you take note of the hours that are different, and if it's like half an hour or so difference. Continue with the bullet points. Determine if New Zealand is in daylight savings time now or not. Right-click, open the link. Daylight savings time. We are in December, and you will see that the date and time that daylight savings time stops is Sunday the 5th of April. So we are currently in daylight savings time. I'm going to go back to my document. This will determine which column your answer is entered into, e.g. column D or E. So I know that we're in New Zealand Daylight Savings Time, so I will enter my information into column E. Calculate the time difference between column A and B and insert an appropriate column. So if it is 4:15 in New Zealand and 2:15 p.m. in Solomon Islands, it's a difference of 2 hours. So the Solomon Islands is behind New Zealand 2 hours, and it's important that you write the quantifier into this document as well. Continue with the bullet points. Thirdly, find out if the country participates in daylight savings time. Right-click, open the link, Daylight Savings Time around the world. It's listed alphabetically. Continue to the country that you're selecting. In my case, it is the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands does not have daylight savings time. Enter that into column C. Do these countries, as in Solomon Islands, observe daylight savings time? No, it does not. Continue with the bullet points. Lastly, calculate the difference between either column D and E depending on the previous answer and insert it into the remaining column. Okay, so I need to know, or I do know that New Zealand is in daylight savings time. How does daylight savings time work? What happens with daylight savings time is in our spring the clock goes forward, and in autumn the clock goes back. So we're in daylight savings time, the clock has gone forward 1 hour, which means that if the Solomon Islands is 2 hours behind and I add 1 hour, that makes it minus 1 hour behind New Zealand. So let's check if I'm correct, because the next thing that you need to do is you need to write a sentence. And the sentence looks something like this. The Solomon Hours is 2 hours behind New Zealand during New Zealand Daylight Saving Time. So let's have a look. Did we get it right? New Zealand Daylight Savings Time, Solomon Solomon Islands behind 2 hours. The next part of the sentence, and an hour behind during New Zealand Standard Time. 1 hour behind during New Zealand Standard Time. We're correct. Well done. What you need to do now is write a sentence, and I strongly suggest that you use this structure for Fiji, Cook Islands, Tonga and New Caledonia. Enter this information into this document and submit it to Google Classroom.